Your smartwatch just told you your heart rate's elevated, your recovery score dropped, and your sleep wasn't deep enough. But here's what most people don't realize. Some of these numbers are accurate enough to genuinely protect your health. Others are off by margins. That can make you panic for absolutely no reason. We dug through over 80 clinical validation studies, FDA clearance documents, and real-world user data to figure out which smartwatch metrics actually matter. And what I found will completely change how you look at the data on your wrist. Because in this video, I'm going to show you which cardiovascular measurements are reliable, which ones are noisy estimates, and the one feature your doctor would actually trust. So if you've ever wondered whether your smartwatch data is useful or just expensive noise, stay with me. When one of the numbers your watch shows every single day, the one people obsess over the most, is statistically useless for comparing yourself to anyone else. If you've ever felt anxious after checking your health data, this is probably why. Before we talk accuracy, we need to understand what your watch is actually measuring. When your watch shows a heart rate of 72, that number didn't come from medical equipment. It came from an optical system that estimates blood flow through your skin. Let's break this down. Modern wearables track 5 main cardiovascular metrics. First, resting heart rate. This is your baseline beats per minute when you're fully at rest. Large population studies published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology show that chronically elevated resting heart rate, consistently above 80 beats per minute, is an independent predictor of cardiovascular mortality. This holds true even in otherwise healthy people. At rest, most modern smartwatches are actually very good at this. Multiple validation studies show 95 to 98% accuracy for resting heart rate when compared to clinical ECG equipment. That's clinically useful. But accuracy changes once you start moving. During high-intensity exercise, especially workouts with lots of arm movement, wrist-based sensors can be off by 10 to 25 beats per minute. So if your watch says 185, your real heart rate might be 170 or 195. That happens because motion introduces noise into the optical signal. This is why chest strap monitors, which measure your heart's electrical activity directly, are still the gold standard for training. Practical takeaway: resting heart rate, trust it. Steady cardio, generally reliable. High-intensity workouts with arm movement, treat peak numbers with skepticism. Next, heart rate variability. This next metric is responsible for more confusion, more bad training decisions, and more unnecessary stress than almost anything else your watch shows. And the problem isn't the sensor. It's how people interpret the number. HRV measures the time variation between heartbeats, reported in milliseconds. Unlike heart rate, HRV requires precise beat-to-beat detection. And here's the problem. Different devices measure HRV in completely different ways at different times, using different algorithms. Apple Watch samples intermittently during rest. Whoop averages HRV during deep and REM sleep. Garmin uses a short morning snapshot. So even if all devices are accurate, they're measuring different things. Clinical studies show that short-term HRV metrics like RMSSD only show moderate agreement with gold standard ECG. And HRV itself can vary by 20 to 30% based on sleep stage, body position, and time of day. This is why comparing HRV across devices is meaningless. The takeaway: don't obsess over the absolute number. Don't compare HRV with other people. Track trends on the same device over time. If your HRV is steadily falling, that's a signal to check recovery, stress, or sleep. Up to this point, we've talked about metrics that are noisy, device-dependent, and easy to misinterpret. Now I want to show you the exact opposite. A feature where consumer wearables actually outperform expectations, and where doctors genuinely pay attention. Next, VO2 Max. This one sounds clinical, but consumer devices don't actually measure it. They estimate it using heart rate response, age, sex, and training data. When validated against lab testing, wearable VO2 Max estimates show moderate correlation, but errors of 10 to 15% are common. That means two devices can easily differ by 5 points on the same person. The takeaway here is simple. VO2 Max is useful for tracking improvement on your own device. It's not precise enough for clinical fitness categories or device-to-device comparison. Now here's the metric that actually crosses into medical territory. Irregular heart rhythm notifications. Atrial fibrillation is the most common arrhythmia, and it often occurs without symptoms. This is where wearables provide real clinical value. Apple Watch and Fitbit received FDA clearance for irregular rhythm detection after large-scale validation studies. The Apple Heart study, which enrolled over 400,000 people, found an 84% positive predictive value for AFib notifications. That's significant. These features are screening tools, not diagnoses. But they can detect patterns that would otherwise go unnoticed and prompt timely medical evaluation. This is the smartwatch feature your doctor actually cares about. Finally, blood oxygen saturation. This is the least reliable metric on consumer wearables. Wrist-based SpO2 can be off by 5% or more and often overestimates true oxygen levels. If your watch shows normal values, that's reassuring. If it flags low oxygen, verify it with a fingertip pulse oximeter before acting. So should you bring wearable data to your doctor? Yes, if you bring trends, not single data points. A rising resting heart rate over months or repeated irregular rhythm alerts are clinically relevant. Random spikes in readiness scores are not. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember this. Resting heart rate is accurate and useful. HRV is meaningful only within the same device. VO2 Max is good for trends, not precision. SpO2 is the weakest link. And irregular rhythm detection is the feature with real medical validation. Your smartwatch isn't a cardiologist. But when you know which numbers to trust and which to question, it can be a powerful tool for understanding your health. If this helped, subscribe for more evidence-based breakdowns, including a deep dive into sleep tracking accuracy that might surprise you. Thanks for watching.